Hello everybody, it is me, Jiozak, here today with another chill and play. Today it's of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So, let's hop right into it. So, I have a little bit of an interesting history with this game. First off, before I even say any of that, yeah, like basically any other game that I have, I've 100%ed this. You can see almost 60 hours sunk into it. But I have an interesting history with this game, and by that, I just mean that ever since this game was released back in 2013, I've always wanted to own this game. This past fall, I recently purchased this digitally because it is now a Nintendo Select, so it's only $20. But basically, during the time span of this game being released and when I got it this past fall, any time that I wanted to get a new 3DS game, I was thinking, oh, do I want to get this one or Dark Moon? And I always went for the former option. Or one of the former options. But eventually, because it was becoming a Nintendo Select, I finally decided to cave in and get it. And for $20, not really caving in, but it's... oh my gosh. For those who haven't played it, please play it, especially now that it's at the reduced price. It's one of the best 3DS games, in my opinion. Especially the puzzles and the multiplayer. Oh my gosh, the multiplayer. I'd love to do some multiplayer videos in the future of this game with friends. Some of my friends have played the multiplayer mode before. It is really, really fun, although it requires a lot of cooperation, but we can cooperate pretty well. Anyways, unlike the original Luigi's Mansion, as you can see, there are multiple mansions, and each mansion has a set number of missions in it. The usual number of regular missions is 5, plus 2 extra missions, one of them being the boss, and one being a bonus for getting every single boo that you can in the mansion. But we are going to start off with A4, Visual Tricks. So I'm deciding to kind of cut past the, I guess, cutscenes, and well, the dialogue rather, just to speed things up a little bit. But yeah, this game compared to the original Luigi's Mansion does tend to kind of push you in a specific path as to where you should go next. Even so much so that on the touchscreen map you can see that there's an exclamation point right there, which the exclamation point directs you where you should be heading to. So we're going to be heading a little bit into the Gloomy Manor and past these guys to progress the mission. Now, this game, I'll sort of mention this, it does use the 3D a fair bit, although obviously... oh, never mind, there's no door there. And you can most definitely tell why, because the sound... oh. This is another thing about the game. Professor Egad calling you can be a bit annoying, especially when in the Ghost Rush missions that you can unlock with all the boos, his calls don't interrupt or don't take away your control. He just kind of like pops up in the corner of the screen. But anyways, so many interruptions, oh my gosh. I guess we can get into... I guess you could call it combat. It's not really combat, though. Basically, there are ghosts that can pop up, and you're supposed to catch them off guard with flashing them and then sucking them with R. When you start sucking them, or I guess inhaling them with the vacuum, you pull the stick in the opposite direction that they're going, which helps to fill up this gauge, and push A, and it drains all of their life, or at least a good bit of their life, if they have more than normal health. And for those who have watched Chugga Conroy's Let's Play of Dark Moon, you know how unoriginal these enemy names are. I don't find it that big of a deal, but it is a little bit eh. Anyways, getting back to the 3D, you can play this game perfectly fine on a 2DS. In fact, I am currently playing this on a 2DS. And honestly, the 3D really isn't needed. It can definitely help with some aspects, or some puzzles, but you don't need the 3D in order to fully enjoy this game. And yes, I know I pronounce 3D a little bit weird sometimes, but that's just how I speak. So yeah, one of the mechanics that was implemented into this game, or at least a new mechanic, is the dark light device. Basically, it can reveal hidden objects in the environment, and you can reveal them, like this grandfather clock. And it drops another collectible you can find in the game, gems. No, not those kinds of gems. But yeah, there are 13 gems you can collect in every single mansion. They don't unlock anything extra except for just trophies. And I mean literal trophies. But yeah, they're obviously, because I'm a completionist, I collected every single one. And some of them are actually placed very clever they're placed in clever locations. But if this was in my first playthrough, I would not already have the strobe bulb. A little bit of odd continuity, or lack thereof. But we'll just grab it anyways, because we need to grab this to progress through the mission. So, yep, with the dark light device, you can reveal hidden objects like this, like some hearts, which refill some of your health. Oh, there we go. Reveal some ghosts. Some ghosts will have things like sunglasses on their face, or other such objects to shield their face from Luigi's flashlight. So you'll want to be mindful of that. Like so, because if you try flashing them when they have their object, nothing happens. Case in point, nothing happens. And in fact, you can kind of hear them laugh at you. So you need to take their glasses off, or whatever object it is, before you can take care of business. Anyways, we got... oh, do I just have... okay, I just have to do that. But yeah, again, if this was my first playthrough, then I would just now have gotten that, but I already have it, so... And you can see that there's no door. However, there actually is. Okay. I was wondering, like, did I get all of them? And yes, I did. multiplayer! I'm not going to actually play with other people right now, which is weird to say with the multiplayer mode, because, oh, spoiled something. But you are able to play the multiplayer mode solo. You don't need anyone else to play with. And yes, you can unlock stuff this way, because there are specific ghosts that are exclusive to the Skyscraper, which is the multiplayer mode, that you can't get in single player. So, yeah, I've actually captured the vast majority of ghosts that you need to catch for 100% completion solo. So, yeah, even though I have friends with 3DSs that we can play together, I've just on my own time gone through and 100% of the game. By that I mean, like, I guess you could call it the bestiary, not bestiary. But yeah, there's multiple modes to Skyscraper. Hunter, where you clear each floor of its ghosts. Rush, where you try to find the exit within a greatly reduced time limit. Yes, these floors are timed, but Rush, you start out with 30 seconds, but you can find timepieces to extend that timer. Polterpup, where you track down polterpups and capture all of them on the floor to proceed, which heavily relies on the Darklight device. And Surprise, where basically every floor the game randomly selects one of the 3 modes and throws you in with only a couple seconds to react to which mode you're going to be playing. You can also set how many floors you want to play, from 5, 10 to 25, or if you complete a 25-floor Skyscraper of a mode, like Hunter for example, you unlock Endless Mode, where you keep playing until you either run out of time or health. For now, we'll keep it on 5, and difficulty normal, hard, or expert. Interesting that it's not easy, normal, or hard, just normal, hard, or expert. Anyways, we're gonna hop in, and yep. So like I said before, Hunter mode, you clear the floor of all ghosts, and I should mention this before checking this. You can sometimes find that some pieces of furniture are warps. This is what the map looks like, just quickly. But yeah, this game's multiplayer, it not only supports multi-copy play. I can't really use the term multi-cart play now that digital copies are a thing, especially when this is a digital copy. But multiplayer can be played with only one copy of the game through download play. So even if you're the only person in your circle of friends that owns the game, you can still enjoy everything in the multiplayer, even if none of your friends own the game, which I think is really nice. And actually, a fun fact about the multiplayer mode, it's sort of like the multiplayer in GoldenEye 64, where it was implemented basically last, after all of the single-player stuff. And, well, the inspiration of the mode was actually from Nintendo Land. This game came out a little bit after Nintendo Land, but the developers loved the, I forget the specific name of the minigame that flashed up on screen, but the developers liked the Luigi's Mansion minigame in Nintendo Land so much that they decided to put in a multiplayer mode into Dark Moon, which, honestly, like, I love playing this mode, and especially with friends. But, oh, there we go. I should mention, money isn't completely useless. It's sort of like experience, where once you reach a certain amount, you can, well, you upgrade the poltergust, the vacuum that you're using to capture ghosts. Things like being able to get a more powerful suck, as well as various other things. There's only 5 upgrades you can ever get for it. After 20,000 gold, you can't upgrade it anymore, which I find is a little bit disappointing that they didn't put in more upgrades. But whatever. Also, those upgrades only apply to single player mode, so yeah, you can't grind for gold and then take that into the Scare Scraper. It's only for single player mode, which I find makes single player or multiplayer a little bit more balanced. I will say with the multiplayer mode, you need to have pretty good communication between everyone, between all of your teammates. Especially with, like, the red coin scramble that happened when I completed the previous floor. The red coins get randomly distributed throughout the floor, and sometimes it can be hard for just one person to get all 4 coins. So you need to communicate, like, I'm going to F, the rooms are numbered on the touchscreen map. Like, I'm going to F, Roger, you go to G. Why did I think Roger? I don't know. But, yeah, if you're playing online with either randoms or with friends and you're not using something like Skype or Discord for voice chat, you can use emotes with the D-pad, which do, like, basic stuff. You can also tap on rooms on the touchscreen and everyone can see where it is you tapped, and you'll save. So then people know, okay, we should head over to that room. So, like, it does basic stuff, but having actual, like, voice chat with something like Skype or Discord really can be helpful. And in some situations, it can either make or break a run in Scare Scraper, so you want to keep that in mind. Also, another thing that you really need to keep in mind, you can tap B to basically dodge while you are working on a ghost. Now, this is helpful because if another ghost is winding up a punch or whatever to deliver to your face, like that, he would have delivered a punch to my face, although I actually captured that other ghost before he got a chance to hit me. But yeah, you can press B to dodge. It makes you dodge out of the way, obviously. But dodging does completely drain your, I guess, suck meter with the vacuum. I don't really know how else to describe it. But yeah, basically the more that you fill up that meter, the more health you can drain from a ghost's HP. But yeah, just there, I use the dodge to avoid being pummeled in the face by Poltergeist. Or I guess a Poltergeist. But yeah, speedrunning tactics! I always find it amusing when that happens. But yeah, another thing that can happen in the Scare Scraper, if you're playing with multiple people, is that there are some carpets and some pieces of furniture that will capture you, and you will not be able to leave the room you're currently in unless you take care of whatever it is that you're being stuck in. However, you need another player to rescue you, so that's why it's only in multiplayer. And that's why communication is vital in this mode. So if you're playing with friends online, highly recommend using something like Skype or Discord or whatever to verbally communicate with your teammates. Now, every 5 floors there is a boss in Scarescraper, and if you make it to the final floor, then there is a final boss. I'm not gonna show those in this video just for time's sake, but let's just say that depending on the skill level of everyone, the bosses can either be incredibly difficult and infuriating, or a joke, honestly. If you know what you're doing, the bosses can actually just be a laughing matter. In fact, the final boss, I have actually taken down in roughly 30 seconds. And even though that was with friends, I was the only one that was actually working on the final boss, Ghost. Everyone else was just kind of doing their own thing, but yeah. Anyways, that was just a short little chill and play of Dark Moon. I may do a Let's Play of this in the future. Honestly, it's a really fun game, and everyone that's watching, I highly recommend getting it, especially now that it's a Nintendo Selects, like I said before, that it's $20 or whatever price it is in Europe, if it is a Nintendo Select up there. Europe, Japan, and North America actually have different games that are on their Nintendo Selects list. But anyways, that'll be it for me for now. I will see you guys later.